All right, now, what's happening, folks? I saw in the building. Today, we're going to read, I can never pronounce this, Ecclesiastes 7, one of my favorite verses. hmm Make sure you pay attention now. Look, a good name is better than a fine perfume, and the day of death is better than the day of birth. It is better to go to a house of mourning than it is to go to a house of feasting. For death is the destiny of every man, woman. The living should take this to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, because a sad face is good for the heart. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of the fools is in the house of pleasure. It is better to heed a wise man's rebuke than to listen to the song of fools. Like the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of fools. So is the laughter of fools. This too is meaningless. Extortion turns a wise man into a fool, and a bribe corrupts the heart. The end of a matter is better than the beginning of the matter, and patience is better than pride. Do not be quickly provoked, for anger resides in the lap of fools. Run it back. Do not be quickly provoked, because anger resides in the lap of fools. Do not say, quote, why were the old days better than these, unquote, for it is not wise to ask such a question. Wisdom is like an inheritance. Wisdom, like an inheritance, is a good thing and benefits those who see the sun. Wisdom is a shelter as money is a shelter, but the advantage of knowledge is that wisdom preserves the life of its possessor. Consider what God has done. Who can straighten what God has made crooked? When times are good, be happy, but when times are bad, consider God has gave you one as well as the other. Therefore, a man cannot discover anything about his future. In this meaningless life of mine, I have seen both of these: a righteous man perish in righteousness, and a wicked man living long in his wickedness. Do not be over righteous nor over wise. Why destroy yourself? Do not be over wicked, and do not be a fool. Why die before your time? It's good to grasp the one, but not let go of the other. A man who fears God will avoid both extremes. Wisdom makes one wise man more powerful than 10 rulers in a city. There is not a righteous man on earth who does what is right and never sins. Do not pay attention to do not pay attention to every word people say, or you may hear your servants cursing you, for you know in your heart that you many times have cursed others yourself, or have cursed others. All this I tested by wisdom and said, I determined to be a wise man, but this was beyond me. Whatever wisdom may be is far off and most profound. Who can discover it? So I turned my mind to understand, to investigate, and to search out wisdom and the scheme of things, and to understand the stupidity of wickedness and the madness of folly. I find, oh, Chatter's Part is one of my favorites, man. I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is a snare, whose, oh, if I bomb, I find more bitter than death a woman who is a snare, whose heart is a trap, and those hands are in chains, in whose hands are chains. Let me run that back one more time. I find it more bitter than death, the woman who is a snare, those whose hearts is a trap, and whose hands are as chains. The man who pleases God will escape her, but the sinner she will ensnare. Adding one thing to another, I discovered the scheme of things while I was still searching, but not finding. I found one upright man amongst thousands, but not one upright woman. This okay, but not one upright woman among them all. This only have I found. God made mankind upright, but men have gone in search of many schemes. You feel me? Like, yeah, he made us perfect, so to speak. You know, he made us perfect, like the body, that he made us perfect. But then, as a man and woman grow, then we start learning things from this world. We start learning things from this world, and it's not perfect at all. Nowhere near. Full of flaws. But anyway, that was Ecclesiastes 7. Something to think about. I feel like that thing right there be talking to me straight up. Anyway, that's what it is. God bless y'all. Yay.